Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Brooklyn, New York, and Knicks fans, New York Knicks fans worldwide. You damn right. You see, it's me. It's that MME 316 rolling in that BROOOKLNYC. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, MME 316 Productions and Bay Ridge Arena Studios proudly brings to you the first ever installment of the New York Knicks Phenom Podcast. Today, by the way, my name, as stated just now, MME 316, Mike Mordecai Einhorn, in the beautiful Bay Ridge Arena Studios in beautiful Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, New York. Today we will be talking about the off-season moves, the New York Knicks off-season. Thank you very much for everybody listening all around the world, Knicks fans worldwide, as there are plenty, even though they have been a team in the better part of the last 20 years have been in bloody shambles. Now, first thing I want to bring up, I think one thing that we need to talk about and we need to keep is the New York Knicks core three. IQ the genius, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, and RJ Barrett. Now, speaking at first, I would like to reverse order in how I set up. I would like to first speak on RJ Barrett, who scoring-wise this past season did huge jump, huge jump. Went from about 14.3 points per game his first year, 17.6 points per game his second year, and averaged 20 a game this season. Okay, he needs to work on his shooting percentage. I believe he shot 40 or 41% from the field. Let me get that up right now. Hold on one moment, fans. RJ Barrett stats, basketballreference.com, as always, best basketball reference site on the planet. Yes, RJ Barrett averaged 20 points per game in 70 games, 20 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 3 assists. I would like all of those stats to increase. Absolutely. He shot from the field again, shade under 41%, 34% from the 3-point line, but he made 2 threes a game. And he free throw percentage 71%. So it's about 4.1 out of 5.8 free throws a game, right? So, but the biggest things for me, more than anything, field goal percentage, I would like to get to about what it was his second season, which was at 44 to 47%. That would make me a happy man. 37% from the 3-point line. And I would like to get between 75 to 80% from the free throw line. I think although those stats increase, he averages about 22 to 25 being kind. Let's say 22 to 24 points a game. And I think he could average about 4 assists and 6.5 rebounds a game, really increasing his productivity. Now, each of his first 3 seasons, he has injured minorly. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Last season, he played 2 seasons ago, technically, 2020, 2021, played in all games. His rookie season, he missed, 27. Again, not by being kind because that was a COVID year, so he might have missed about 15 games. And this past season, he missed 12. So I would like him to play 75 games, 46% from the field, 37% from the 3-point line, 75 to 80% free throw line, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 24 points a game, first All-Star appearance. Now, I will go with, first I'm going to go with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, I always just looked at this guy. He's a phenomenal dunker. He makes dunks that really get the crowd involved because they're electric, right? And he's a very good rebounder. I'm not even gonna look at his stats because he doesn't play that much, like minutes wise, right? But towards the end of the season, they just let Julius Randle was injured anyway. They gave Obi Toppin more of a chance, both starting and minutes wise. The last couple games, he averaged not average, but he had a 35-point game. And last game of the season, he had a 42-point game and had quite a few rebounds. Good amount. I don't know these. I'm not interested right now, but I know he did good on the rebounding floor point, shooting. I mean, scoring wise, and 3-point shooting wise. So he's technically a badass stretch four. And with that said, it could be criticized, and it's a fair critique. There was a very end of the season, and teams were resting their guys. We weren't playing as hard. Season was mostly over. Nobody was playing for anything. So that should be taken into consideration for his last several games. However, the last several games did happen. He was very productive. They gave him an actual opportunity. There was one point this season, and this is what I appreciate about Obi Toppin, and it showed a lot of class, but it showed his frustrations with the team. This is when Julius Randle was playing, and he wasn't injured. They were in a game, and it was towards the end of like 2 minutes left, and there was a big man. If it was Taj Gibson or Mitchell Robinson, either fouled out or was hurt. And instead of going to Obi Toppin, because Coach Thibodeau can't stand the idea of Obi Toppin and Julius Randle playing together or learning how to play together, which I'm going to criticize Thibodeau on that right here, right now. He should have done that. They might as well. It could have had great results, but that's neither here nor there because that didn't happen. Now, because Julius Randle wasn't playing, and this is factored what I just said, he didn't put Obi Toppin in it. They showed the bench. You showed Obi Toppin being like, something along the lines of, God damn, I'm not playing. He looked frustrated, but at the same time, cheered his teammate on. He showed class and respect, but he showed his frustrations, and they were deserved. So, the key for Obi Toppin in the 2022-2023 season, you need to start him. You need to give him an opportunity to show you if he was worth anything, and you got something about that 8th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. I think he has a lot. I think he's a guy throughout his career could average a range of 18 to 23 points a game, 8 to 12 rebounds a game, and 4 assists a game. And be a tough defender, great dunker, very good scorer, and a playmaker. And I think if put in the right set of circumstances and given the opportunity, a 4 to 5 time All-Star. No bullshit. When I think of him right now, I'm thinking of almost like Al Horford. So, Horford, but a better version, a higher energy version of Al Horford. That, especially the way he's playing in the playoffs currently. So, Obi Toppin needs to start. It needs to get more minutes. Needs to be given a fair opportunity to see what you got. Man, now I'm going to go to Manuel quickly. Needs the same as Obi Toppin. As in, he needs to start. He needs more minutes. Because his shooting percentage, crap, right? But he's streaky, and that's a fair criticism for him, too. But towards the end of the season, he was looking more organized and more disciplined and more efficient from the field overall. Not talking about shooting, but playmaking and making big shots when they need it. And that put the Garden crowd up on their feet. So Emmanuel quickly, he needs to either be in the starting lineup or 6th man if they find, and we will get to why I think he might be 6th man in a little bit. But if he's not the 6th man, and we do get a player like Jalen Brunson or Malcolm Brogdon, he is the 6th man. We don't get those guys, he starts. If we do get those guys, 6th man, and IQ the Genius will show you why I believe his name should be IQ the Genius. Or that's nickname wise. His nickname is IQ. Or Q might as well be IQ the Genius, though. But that nickname needs to be earned next season. All right. Now, who is expendable on the Knicks roster? Everyone else. And 2 things that need to happen. You do not resign Mitchell Robinson. If he asks for a lot of money, he's a great defender, but he's not disciplined. He's very streaky. Yeah, and he's just not consistent. He lacks consistency, and he's injury prone. At his best, he's a top tier defender, and he's a really, really good dunk artist. At his best. But he's streaky, and yeah, he's young in the league, but he's streaky, undisciplined, and lacks consistency. Okay, and also, okay, so we got rid of that guy. We also need to trade Julius Randle. Again, that contract was based on a year that was a what's the proper word? It was a the best season we'll ever have with the 2020-2021 season. We averaged 24 game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Great stats, great play. He earned that contract for a season that, what's the word I'm looking for, was not who he really is. I can't think of the word off the top of my head. It wasn't can't think of the word. Okay, doesn't matter. You just got to know that Julius got to go. He did average 20 points this season, but he was very inefficient, lacked consistency. There are many games where he was like going 4 of 20 or 5 of 21 or 7 of 18. And he was trying to be a ball dominant player. He's not a number one option, A. B, like Mitchell Robinson, he lacks consistency, especially shooting. And 3, when he's just dribbling in the midst of a play and he's just dribbling and he's trying to play like he's a point forward, he's trashed. We need to get rid of him. He needs to go. He gotta go. He gotta go. He gotta go. Okay. So with that, I would like to go to the 11th pick and is up in the air for the Knicks. Not that it's up in the air, but who knows what they're gonna do. It is a very weak draft. The top 4 players, if they had a top 4 pick, I would think very differently. There are too many good point guards. What I was just hearing on Knicks Fans TV today, the Knicks are thinking of getting 18-year-old Duke freshman AJ Griffin, who is an excellent shooter, very raw, and has potential in a weak draft. So I want to go over his stats right here, right now. Now, AJ Griffin, who, by the way, was born in White Plains, New York, so he's a native New Yorker. He averaged 10 points a game, 10.4 points a game, 79% from the free throw line, 44.7% from three-point line, and 49% from the field goal shooting in 24 minutes. So, the Knicks spread the floor with more shooters, because when they got rid of Reggie Bullock, I think that had a bad that did not help any of the team, especially a guy like Julius Randle, because that helped him when he needed to do some amazing things to spread the floor. I'm not saying I want to keep Julius Randle. He got to go. However, AJ Griffin, great shooter. I think that's where you go. Even though you did get Quentin Grimes, it never hurts to have several marksmen who are just phenomenal shooters who just bullseye it every time. So that's how I feel. I don't know. I'm sure the Knicks, really do believe the Knicks have a 2nd round pick. I do not care in a weak draft. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not even gonna waste time talking to fans about it. Now, he was with the free agency and trades. My thoughts on Donovan Mitchell and Zion Williamson. I'd rather have, out of the two, Donovan Mitchell over Zion Williamson. However, I don't really want either. I don't want either. Donovan Mitchell, he scores 25, 26 a game throughout his career. I think his rookie year, I believe he averaged 20 points a game. And every other year since then, he's averaged 24 to 26. He scores a lot of points, high volume scorer. However, when the game is on the line, he consistently is not a go-to guy. That's like a Damian Lillard, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, dagger in the heart player, where it's like you need that shot at the very end, buzzer beater, or at the closing moments of a game to win the game. Donovan Mitchell Not that guy. Sorry, bro. Thumbs down, son. You ain't coming to New York. Well, you might come to New York, but I wouldn't go for it. Now, Zion Williamson, here's the thing. If he was disciplined in his staying healthy, but just as much his weight issues. Now, technically he doesn't have weight issues now, but Zion Williamson seems like a guy who's very herdy, and a guy that if he's not always in the gym and eating in a disciplined manner, will have weight issues throughout his career. And the injury that caused him to miss his second season, his third season, didn't impress me. It's a foot injury. So this can continue throughout his career. Weight issues and health. Not to say he can't become a great player, but I question those two things for Zion Williamson, so I do not want him on my team. Now, who do the Knicks go for in free agency and trade rumors? Who I would go first and foremost. I would sell the entire idea, the whole team, except for the three players I mentioned. I would throw all the money in the world at current Dallas Maverick point guard, who's having had a great year, breakout year, and have an even more enchanting playoff run. Even though the Dallas Mavericks are down 3-0 in the Western Conference Finals against a far more superior and formidable opponent in the Golden State Warriors, Jalen Brunson, I would give you all the money in the world to come to New York. I don't currently have the cap. Actually, you know what? I want to look that up. Hold on one moment, fans. How much money? I got to look that up. How much money can the Knicks offer Jalen Brunson? Now, the Knicks, the organization has the money. According to Daily Knicks, the organization has the money to offer something close to maximum contract and free agency, and a possible free agent, Brunson, could sign a deal for 4 years, $80 million. There are other teams. I want to check this out in the Daily Knicks. Can they tell me two teams? Because there's significant interest in Brunson. He's a future #1 point guard in the league at the very least, right? He could sign with the Pistons or the Pacers over the Knicks. The Pistons have also been linked to Mitchell Robinson. Take Mitchell Robinson. I do not care. The Knicks, who will, this is according to Fansided, Jalen Brunson could sign with the Pistons or Pacers over the New York Knicks. The Pistons have also been linked to Mitchell Robinson, who will enter free agency if he and New York fail to agree to a contract extension. Listen, when it comes to the Pistons and Pacers, I'm not sure. You know what? I don't know. I haven't read a lot about Jalen Brunson, who he's interested in, or if he's showed any interest to other teams or to stay in Dallas. Pistons and Pacers are low-level, also low-level teams. So he could sign with those. But I'll be honest, I want him to sign with the Knicks, but my gut says he stays in Dallas because they have that's a phenomenal backcourt in Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic. Like that's money right there. That's the future of the league. In my guesstimation, those two players stayed with each other for a very, very, very long time. However, New York Knicks, please, for the love of God, just give them all the money, the max you can, and I just hope for the best. Comes to New York, I feel blessed. Just kidding. So if that does not happen, I would like. I know the Knicks are interested in Malcolm Brogdon, who's a probably more realistic choice for the Knicks to get as a point guard for the 2022-2023 season. This season, I want to look at Malcolm Brogdon's stats. Hold on one moment, fans. Hold on one moment. Putting it up right now. Malcolm Brogdon's stats. His stats currently are, hold on one moment. So he averaged this season in 36 games. So he did get injured. How often? Okay. So my Malcolm Brogdon, this past season in 2021-22, he only played 36 games, averaged 19 points a game, 5.9 assists, 5 rebounds. 2021-22 season, he played 56 games, so he missed a considerable amount of games in that season, but still scored 21 a game, 6 assists, same amount of assists, and a few more rebounds, a little bit more on the rebounding edge. He is a very good scorer, but what I do notice about him, there have been only 2 seasons where he's played at least 64 games. So that means 3 seasons he's been injury prone. How much? What is his contract right now? How much is he owed? Okay, here's the only thing about the Malcolm Brogdon contract. Next season, 22.6 million per game. Not per game, sorry. 22.6 million. The 2023-24 season, 21.6 million. And 2024-25, 23.3 million. So he's offered a considerable amount of, he's owed a considerable amount of money per year. And he does get injured. So he is injury prone. So that I do not like about him. However, he's still a really good point guard who's entering the prime of his career. And if he could actually stay healthy and play, let's say 65 to 74 games a season and do like the 17 to 20 points a game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, come to New York. Now, other players that have been mentioned that the Knicks might be maybe interested in are also Mo Bamba, and that's all I know right now. Thank you very much, fans. Have a good night. Thank you very much. I just wanted to put that out there. The New York Knicks, inside the Knicks off season. Thank you very much. And the MME 316 Knicks podcast. Have a good night.